Hello, everyone. It is Self Care Sunday Self Care Edition. How are you? And you, but especially you. Yes, you. How are you doing tonight? This Sunday, the 18th of January. That is what I want to know. Tell me about it. I am excited to be here with you all tonight. See if I get see if Facebook's cooperating and I can get all my screens going here tonight. All of them going. As we get going here on this Sunday night. So excited to be here with you live. Although I love my replayers. I was having a conversation about people that watch it on the replay the other day. Hey, Carrie, how are you tonight? Great to have you here live tonight. How are things in Florida? I hear it's warming up in Florida. I hear it was cold, then it's back to normal, and then maybe it's going to get cold again. We've had snow all weekend, so I've been shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. Shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. That's what I've been doing. Yes, indeed. Keeping our walkways, 30. You're not much warmer than it is here. Ooh, that's cold for Floridians. That's way cold for Floridians. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Hope all is well in Canada. Oh, that is Florida cold. That is Florida cold, Carrie. Sorry about that. That is not good Florida weather. I fingers crossed you get a warm up because I know that's not good for you. Although hopefully helping you sell some winter coats, sell some of those winter coats down there. Indeed. Let's see. Ooh, I like tonight's quote. Let's get started with tonight's quote. Our opening quote tonight is the only thing that can grow is the thing that you give energy to. The only thing that can grow is the things that you give energy to. There you go. Yeah, I thought we were over winter. I don't think winter's over us. Although, at least in the Northeast. So I have a lot of Northeast data on Martin Luther King weekend. And we typically lose one day to weather that weekend every year. Every year, it's usually a pretty good business weekend at stores in the Northeast, but usually one day is lost to weather. So this is not that uncommon. But I didn't expect to need to get plowed yesterday. So there came Johnny up the driveway last night, and he said, I might be back tonight. So far, we don't need him tonight. I mean, we've had some snow here today, but, it hasn't come down enough that he has to plow it yet. But that could change here tonight. I know we still have more coming between now and the morning, and then it's supposed to get really cold Tuesday and Wednesday. But hey, that's the weather. That's the weather. So we are continuing our talk about goals. Okay? And it's so important that we have goals, not to put pressure on ourselves, okay? Although I do know by its very nature it puts a little pressure on us, okay? But being in business is not for the faint of heart. Okay, being in business is not for the faint of heart. And being in business naturally puts a little bit of pressure on us. That is the name of the game there. And naturally does that. So, but it's because we have to aim at something. Okay, I told you guys the story a couple episodes ago of growing up. Okay, and how I came home one day and had my room wallpapered from floor to ceiling with dartboards of if you aim at nothing, you're bound to hit it. And this isn't an exact replication, but it's pretty gosh darn close. My goal is not to have to close due to weather. I get that. But this graphic, and I'll throw it up there later, is if you aim at nothing, you're bound to hit it. And that's part of why we set goals, okay? Is so that we have personal goals, and I could argue Laurel's goal of not having to close due to weather is a personal goal, okay? It's also very specific. And I'm right there with you, Laurel. I don't like closing, and when you're in plazas like you are, there's a cost. You're still paying to have the snowplow come and clear, and you're doing all this stuff, and your heat is on, and everything else. A lot of that stuff's on timers, and all of a sudden, so you have all the costs and none of the revenue. Nowadays you have some revenue coming in between online and live shows and other things, but it is like an empty hotel room when weather affects your sales. It's a day you don't get back. Okay, even if you have a great day tomorrow, it's a day that doesn't come back. So totally, totally appreciate that, and understand it. But as we work on our business goals this month, okay, and bigger things to achieve this year, and I've enjoyed so many of that I've talked to recently, and some of the big plans that you have for the year is creating those big scary goals. And it should be scary. It should be a little bit scary. Okay. When I talk about goals, it shouldn't be so close that you can just grab it. It shouldn't be just so close that it's just there. Check. This is not a checkbox. I am not talking about a to-do list. Okay. I am not just talking about checking it off and saying, oh, well, it's January 18th. Already done with that goal. Okay. That is not what I'm talking about. It should be a reach. It should be a reach. Okay. It should be far enough away that you cannot touch it. Okay. I talk about comfort plus one. Okay. My exercise coach is always talking about comfort plus one. And I really, for your business goals, it's like comfort plus 2 to 5, 3 to 5. Okay. I don't want it to be so big that you are James Bond. Okay. And James Bond goes into the casino. Every James Bond movie, it doesn't even matter which one it is. James Bond goes into the casino and he puts all the chips in and goes all in. Okay, this is not. I want you to be into your goals, but I don't want you to bet the ranch. I don't want you to be betting your whole business, and your whole livelihood, or that of your community and that of your team, on one idea. Okay, it should never be that uncomfortable a goal. Okay, so like that might be, okay, we're going to open 3 stores this year. Well, that would be uncomfortable if you only have 1 store right now. Okay, that would be betting everything, and that isn't what we want you to do. Okay, we want you to make strategically important goals, okay, that stretch your comfort, make you stretch, make you reach, make you go beyond your screen length, okay, and reach for it, okay. So, and there are so many great ways to do it. I was at NRF, the National Retail Federation's big show this past week, and there's so much good tech coming down to resale, and investments in the resale space, that the future is bright. I mean, I'm pretty excited about the future of resale. It is a very bright place. But so your goals have to align with that. Maybe one of your goals is getting more on your own website this year. Maybe it is linking your listings to eBay. Maybe it is growing your business by double digits. Maybe it's retirement. For some of you, I know that's a goal this year. Okay. Maybe it is, organizing all your training so it's easier to onboard new employees and it's easier to grow your business. There's all sorts of ways in which we look at this, okay? But the goal has to be personal to you, okay? It has to be personal to your business. Again, I don't want you chasing somebody else's, okay? I don't want you chasing another store's goal. I want you chasing your own and being there with your own goals. And because this is an exciting time to do it. So, I talked about a personal goal last week, which could be losing weight. And losing weight is such an easy goal to look at from a personal perspective because it's easy to break down into smaller increments. To say to lose 26 pounds in a year, well, that's a pound every other week. That's pretty easy. Yeah, not easy to lose, but it's easy to break down and feel like it is achievable. Know that it is something that you can come down to. And that is the same we do with business goals. Your business goal might seem more complex than losing weight, but most goals can be broken down into something simple. Maybe it's getting your items on your website. Well, it starts with how many items do you take a day? And how many do you want to get on your website? What's a percentage of that, and how are you going to grow that up to, and where are you going to get it to? So if you take 100 items a day and you're doing 0 items a day on your website right now, maybe it's starting with 5 and getting to 10, and a goal for the year of being 25% of what you receive every day. That would be 25 a day. Okay, maybe your goal is sales. Okay, maybe you want to increase sales $50,000 this year. And that sounds like a big amount. It is a big amount. $50,000 is real money. Okay, $50,000 is real money. Real money. Okay, but that's about $1,000 a week. Okay, $1,000 a week. And I'm going to be nice because I'm not even going to talk about being open every day, but let's say you're only open 5 days. That's $200 for every day you're open. Now that got a little simpler. Okay. And if your average item is $25, that puts us at 8 items a day. 8 more items a day that we got to get out the door on average. So we're taking a bigger goal and we're breaking it down. We're taking a bigger goal, whatever your goal is, okay? Because maybe it's training. Maybe it is, I'm going to invest in myself, okay? I am going to spend more time. I am going to take all of the classes Deal has available. I'm going to learn all of these things. And maybe it is along those lines. And that is the direction you're going. It doesn't matter what direction you want to go, but we're going to take a bigger goal and we're going to break it down, okay? And we're going to start working on it, because it's not about, so often we get to December and we forget that we even had a goal at the beginning of the year, okay? We get to March and we forgot we made goals, or we said those goals are out the window because other things happened. Somebody was sick. Somebody, quit. We had to do something else. Those are things that aren't things you should lose sleep over. It is these opportunities that we have to grow and to do that truly make it amazing. And so you have to keep this front and center. The thing you have to keep front and center is if you don't take the time to aim at anything, you are bound to hit it. Okay. So setting meaningful personal goals, okay, for both you and your business. So that's the other side of it is you got to have personal goals and you have to have business goals, but they have to be meaningful to you, not somebody else's goal. And so as we drive those down, we break those up. We break them up into smaller things to set us up. Maybe the goal, if the goal is like pictures to your website, okay, maybe it is the first quarter of the year you're going to spend redoing your work areas so that they're more conducive to batch processing, so that you can process things quicker. Okay, and so you have an area to take photos and do that. Maybe then in the second quarter of the year, you'll actually start working on the actively taking pictures. But that first quarter is getting everything in the work area set up, getting your camera station, getting your tagging and your processing all straightened up and neat. Very Starbucks-like, okay? I'm big on the Starbucks workstation setup. So that everything is where it should be and everything is handy, okay? And doing these things is how we can work towards pushing these things forward. And that is what this is about. It is about stretching yourself and stretching your comfort, and stretching the use of different tools, because we're going to move from goal to how to who. Goal to how to who? Okay, because it doesn't have to all be you. Okay, even if you're a solopreneur, even if you're the only one employed by your store, it doesn't all have to be you. Okay, some of it can be a tool, some of it can be a class, some of it can be a greater reach in what you do. Okay, and a different way than you know how to do it right now. That is how we grow ourselves. That is how we grow our business. Okay. And we want to be growing. Okay. We want to be growing. We don't want to just tread water. We don't want to just, because that's no fun. Okay. We're in this to grow. We're in this to build it something better than what we have today. And that is why we are not aiming at nothing. That is why we are aiming forward and growing this. So that's what I want you to think about. But I also want you to think about, because so often your mind goes in 100 different directions. And I know that, okay? I've worked with all of you for way too long. Okay, I know that we bounce around in different directions, and that's a great thing about an entrepreneurial mind. But you want to bring those goals down to 2 to 3 things. 2 to 3, no more than 5. Okay, goals, big business goals for the year. Okay, again, beyond your reach, something you cannot reach, and bring it in. Make it personal, make it smart, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant to you, and time-based. And put it into that format, okay? That is what we're looking for. We're not looking for 35 goals. 2 to 5 is really ambitious, okay? And really big, because you want to maintain what you have during that time too. So, and that is 2 to 5 personal goals, 2 to 5 business goals. Keep that up for success. Ooh, I'm having, whoa, what's going on here with the video? That was weird. That was weird with the camera and everything. Woo! That was a little spooky. That was a little spooky. How Facebook does that to us sometimes, and the joy of technologies. But that is what I'm challenging you to do. That is what I'd love you to do for your homework tonight and work on for this week so that we can put this to bed and put you on track to achieving your personal goals. Okay, so that you're not aiming at nothing. Okay, I want you aiming. I want you aiming for the stars. I want you aiming for the stars. Shoot for the moon, people. Do I have the moon up here? I don't have. No, it's not. I don't have my moon shot one. But let's shoot for the moon. Let's shoot for the moon. You know why? Because this video and everything I talk about, hey, Michelle, goes over to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell. Ring it so you know when another one drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody run a better business. I am here every Sunday and Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish, But if you have a question between, just email me, Neil, Neil, N-E-I-L, at nextlevelresale.com, Neil at nextlevelresale.com, or DM me on Facebook. I'm easy to reach. We start the program every night with our opening quotes. Our opening quote tonight was, the only thing that can grow is the thing that you give energy to. And our closing quote tonight is, until you spread your wings, you have no idea how far you can fly. Until you spread your wings, you have no idea how far you can fly. That is so true, ladies and gentlemen. We will fly. We will party. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. But until then, and until Wednesday night at More 8 Than Ish, know that you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you, yes, you, on Wednesday.